I want you glued to the skies tonight because we've got those storms out there. Do you guys want to see a real soaker? You've got to see this. Kayla caught this. Kayla Baggerly, who we love. Saratoga Springs, look at it coming down. They saw Peta marble-sized hail, but this was a soaker. It rolled right through. It was a quick mover, gusty winds. Now, they're tapping into monsoon moisture in central Utah, but we still have some drier air in the north. As we look at our forewarned radar, I'm going to show you where the storms are. With that drier air, we do get a different set of circumstances. As we look at the radar, we're going to zoom in. This has 55-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to cross the lake here. Park Valley has been active with thunderstorms throughout the last hour and a half. Over Bear Lake, they're getting another round. A severe thunderstorm warning earlier in the afternoon tracking towards Bear Lake. It weakened as it approached the area. Utah County, Payson, Provo, Orem, Linden, those areas saw heavy rain for the evening commute, and we've got some gusty winds in the West Desert with those echoes of moisture. Those cells also packing 50-mile-per-hour winds or more. South of I-70, Green River, Hanksville, Grand Staircase, and then right there on the border into Grand County, those storms are still moving through. That's an area that's seeing a repeat performance. Yesterday, we saw that monsoon moisture bring in storms. Our excessive rainfall threat tells a little bit of a story because that monsoon moisture has moved into central Utah, but drier air in the north. What that means is when we get thunderstorms, yes, they get some soakers in the areas in green, but we get some microburst winds, very, very gusty winds. And Don, reporting a microburst in his backyard, broke the patio table, looked up the wind gusts there, 38 miles per hour. That's what I was finding on the sensor, but very, very possible higher than that. And we do have gusty conditions out there as we look at our peak winds throughout the state, double digits along the Wasatch Front. Those storms with their outflow boundaries can really, really be strong. Enzyme Peak, the wind's also doing another favor, reminding us that we live in the Salt Lake Valley surrounded by mountains. You can see today that wildfire smoke clearing with the help of our mixing and the winds. Air quality right now in the moderate category throughout northern Utah, and that's not due to particulate matter. This is ozone popping up. There are a few areas holding on to smoke. Cache Valley, one of them, but Utah, Duchesne County, that's ozone. Davis, Salt Lake, and we've got clean air over in Tooele right now. That's a bit of a change. We're going to forecast with that progress heading into tomorrow. Unhealthy air for sensitive groups in Davis and Salt Lake County. That was the potential for today, but moderate air throughout the rest of northern Utah. Clean air expected in the south with storms sticking around. They're on deck for your weekend. So we've done air quality. We've talked about storms. Let's go temps. 94 in Salt Lake. That's average, but we were hotter than that today. 101 in St. George right now. 80s on the eastern side of the state. 75 in Emory. Storms overhead. Our 90s turning to 80s along the Wasatch Front by the time we approach ABC4 News at 10, 82 degrees. General thunderstorm threat for the whole state as we head into Saturday. Are you going to be outdoors enjoying? Well, eyes to the skies because afternoon and evening presents the potential of a few storms. Futurecast shows us the rest of tonight. Southern Utah down towards Iron County, eastern Utah by 8 p.m. still active. We're going to watch as we lose that daytime hearing. We quiet, but into our Saturday isolated storms in northern and southern Utah by the afternoon. Salt Lake County's in the mix there, and that moisture, monsoon moisture, surges further north for the weekend, meaning the Wasatch Front could see some measurable moisture coming through. Here we are by 7 p.m. The basin's active, central Utah stays active, and then we repeat into Sunday. Probable flash flood potential for all of the areas. We always say no before you go. Don't go. It's just that simple. We've got heavy rain in the forecast. That area of high pressures to our southeast, and we're watching that low because it allows for us to drag moisture, which is aided by an area of low pressure, bringing that into the state. And then we're watching that trough because that could cool temperatures into next week, but moisture hangs around. It's a while before we see that drier air. Best put on the 7-day here. I'll show you. 90s for tomorrow. Storms in the forecast. 96 in Moab. Isolated storm potential. 104 in St. George. Any storm or cloud cover could cool that. Isolated to scattered storms through Monday. Tuesday, some drier air in the south. 101 is average, and we kind of love average. Here's the Wasatch Front. 90s. Isolated storms for your weekend. Better chance Monday, but we ease on the temperatures as that system to our north will send some cooler air our way. You know, storms out there, active evening, be careful, but seeing that view of the Salt Lake Valley. Oh. I'm like, it's back.
You could see it, right?
Like, yeah, I was like, goodbye, smoke. Can we get a few days? Today's one of those days.
My friends down in Orem complaining because there was a big storm down there, rain.
It was a big one. We just showed it during the...
I told them I washed my car, so it's like my fault.
There you go. I'm so glad you took the blame for me. Because usually he says it's Alana's fault, but no, that's all you today.
That's really big of you today, Wes. That's really big and nice of you. Thank you.
It was Alana's fault.